I respect your time, so let's get right into it. I firmly believe that people who watch my videos are mature and intellectual individuals who will not send any hate to anyone referenced in this video. I'm sure most of you already know who I am talking about. Yes, the legendary, the one and only fishing god Wendell GX, the myth, the legend, with his 100% fishing success rate guides. 100%, not 99%, 100%. In Singapore, we call it confirm, guarantee plus chalk. So today, I will follow his preachings and gospels step by step and see if I can ascend from a fishing dog to a fishing god. Now, a quick summary for those who have yet to see his videos. Basically, he claims that if you manually fish a certain way, fishing is no longer random, but a skill-based mini-game that can guarantee 100% success rate if you follow his steps. So let's go through his steps together first to form a common understanding. So step number 1, change to his God settings. Everything just put only myself and put the lowest possible settings everywhere else to reduce lag. Except resolution, medium. Don't ask why, don't question the fishing god, just follow. Okay, step 2, prepare 2 different type of fishing baits. But what if I only want one type of... Shh! No one cares about what you want. You want 100% success rate? Just follow. Step 3, manually fish and execute slow and fast reels perfectly for 100% success rate. But there are more than 2 speeds for fishing. At what point do we transition the speed from slow to... Shh! Hey! Stop your sacrilegious line of questioning. If it's not fast, it's slow. If it's not slow, it's fast. If it's not fast, it's slow. If it's not slow, it's fast. Just follow. So step 3 is the most important step because Wendell claims that if you execute his fast and slow reels perfectly, you are basically guaranteed 100% success rate. The rest of the steps like changing settings, switching baits, changing channels are easy. This is the only step that is skill based, and basically this claim is so important because it implies that fishing is not RNG but 100% skill based. So we are going to break this step down frame by frame in my video editor because if I can show that I matched his steps and I did not get the outcome he claims, then it is not 100% as he claims. Similarly, if I can prove that his steps are not accurate, it is also not 100% as he claims. So what is the fast reel and slow reel strategy? Let's start with the slow reels. I have taken screenshots from all 3 of his videos and compiled them together. Let's take a look at what Wendell says is the right way as well as the wrong way. So basically, when you get a slow reel, the strategy is to match the shrinking circle with the dotted lines. So when the shrinking circle touches the dotted lines, you click. That's it. So let's look at the screenshot. It says, if the circle reach to the circle dot, need to click. Clear enough. So he even kindly attached a picture where he clicked at the exact moment when the shrinking circle aligned with the dotted lines. So let's take a look at a short clip of him doing it. So the shrinking circle will slowly approach the dotted line, and when it touches, you click. Straightforward. Now let's look at what he says is wrong. So when the shrinking circle doesn't touch the dotted line, it's wrong. So you don't click. Let's look at one more example. So when the circles don't touch, that's where it is wrong. You have to wait for the circles to align. But at 2 minutes 37, he's talking about the correct way to click slow reels, but the picture shows that the circle is not touching the line and is somehow correct. Hey, shh! How dare you question him? He's just checking whether you're paying attention. So for the fast reels, same thing. Let's look at his advice. When it is fast reel, look at green color, click. It doesn't matter if the circle is outside or inside the dot. The green reels appear that time you need to click. So in other words, the moment you see green, you click. So unlike slow reels, the position of the shrinking circle and dotted line doesn't matter. Now that I've demonstrated that I'm paying very close attention and I've clearly understood what the fishing god is preaching, here is how I plan to do my test. I will follow his steps and settings exactly as what he has shown. I will record down every single success and every single fail for both fast reels and slow reels. I will use my video editor to break down every single click frame by frame and screenshot the outcome. We will compare it side by side with what Wendell says is correct and determine how accurate he is. Next up is a montage of the process and proof of how I collected my data. Enjoy! I hope you guys did not skip the entire montage. It has Wendell's favorite song. Listening to it might just give you a fishing buff. Alright, let's do some analyzation of the results. Let's look at the fast reels success first. When I succeeded in my fast reels, there was never a time where I could hit it perfectly when the reels turned green. The best I could do was 14 frames after the reels turned green. And if we look at my fails, 14 frames would also fail at the same time. So there was a YouTube comment a few weeks ago. A software engineer developed a program where it ran a speed detection script as well as a color detection script. So if it detected fast reels and detected green, it would click on the first possible frame. That experiment also failed. So whether this is accurate or not, I leave it up to you to judge. Now next we look at the slow reels. These are all the screenshots of success, and if you look at what Wendell says is wrong, I actually had 2 reels where the shrinking circle did not touch the dotted lines, and I still managed to get the fish. Lastly, let's look at the slow reels where I failed. On the right is what Wendell says is correct, but if we look at the top 3 screenshots over here, I am very sure I hit the absolute correct timing where the shrinking circle met the dotted lines, and I still failed to get the fish. Now you may think, "Aiya, that's your problem lah, you so noob. It's because you did it wrongly." Fine. So let's break down his fishing video frame by frame and see how well he did based on his own teachings. Alright, let's analyze Wendell's fast success reel screenshots. For fast reels, he claims that if you see green and you click it, it is a 100% chance to get it. But even he himself is not able to click on the green immediately. This is not his fault or my fault exclusively. Human reaction speed on average has been proven to take at least 0.2 seconds to react to anything, even when we are anticipating it. So his 100% method is literally impossible for fast reels, even for himself. Now let's look at his slow reel success screenshots. This is absolutely hilarious. Almost none of his successful slow reels was what he set out to do. By right, he's supposed to click when the shrinking circle touches the dotted line. You can see from the screenshots that almost none of it is touching the dotted line. And if you look at what he says is wrong in the bottom, he's literally doing what he says is wrong and still getting the fish successfully. Now, when someone claims something is 100%, there should be absolutely zero anomaly. When I say I got you, means I got you. It is a binary yes or no situation. It is crystal clear from these screenshots that there is no consistency and no basis for the fast reel and slow reel mechanic. Now, personally, what I think is really happening is that Wendell stumbled upon some external factors that decides RNG when fishing. Now, to understand this, we need to have a basic understanding of how RNG works in games. In short, there is not a single algorithm that can truly produce randomness on its own. Nothing is truly random when it is decided by a computer. In the past, games like Pokemon and Super Mario have been heavily exploited by speedrunners who know how to do things a certain way to guarantee certain outcomes, bypassing RNG and getting a better result. Nowadays, the common way for games to introduce RNG is by combining external factors into their RNG algorithm. So instead of relying on a fixed formula, developers include things like system clock, channel, ping, things that are not within the computer's control and hence giving each player a better random experience. So let me try and give a very simple example. Let's say there's a table of values called x from 1 to 10. So the game uses an algorithm to produce a pseudo-random number, we call it RNG, the red color number here. This is decided by the game itself. And then it goes through another formula where it takes in external factors like system clock, channel, ping, and finally, after going through the formula, it produces the value x. X will range from 1 to 10. If the value that you got is 6, 1 to 6, you get a good fish. If the value that you got is 7 to 10, you get trash fish. Therefore, about 60% success rate. So in my opinion, Wendell has definitely stumbled upon some of the external factors. It might be the time that he plays, the channel he is at, it might be the number of baits left, it might be his insane ping, It could also be him refreshing the seed every time he switches baits or changes channels, similar to how Minecraft does their world generation. So all in all, this video is not meant to debunk or expose Wendell or anything negative of that sort. It is in fact affirming him that he is definitely onto something, otherwise he would not be so consistently and reliably successful. Now, even though his titles are clearly clickbait, I personally feel that as long as Wendell's method helped you increase the success rate by even just 1%, he deserves all the recognition already. Content creation is hard. Wendell found a way to improve everyone's fishing experience, took the time to document it, took the time to explain his process, edited the video and shared it with the world. Let us all affirm and appreciate his efforts by dropping him a sub or leaving him an encouraging comment. We need more of such people in the world, not the clickbaiting part but the sharing mentality. I honestly feel that if he just titled his videos better, the expectations from players would be so different, because instead of going in to challenge and prove him wrong, people will go in and thank him for improving their fishing rates. Alright, that's it for me. Hope this video isn't too technical. Leave a like if you appreciate the frame-by-frame analysis. This video really took me a long time to do. And if you like videos that bring value to your gameplay and keep you ahead of the free-to-play curve, subscribe. As always, outplay, not outpay. Bye!